When did we all become a polyester hive mind? When did we stop being those kids that were like, oh, I want to be a dinosaur or a superhero or a astronaut, right? When did we become the guy who looks you dead in the face and says that they're going into finance? I'm going to go into finance. You're seriously going to look at me and lie to my face saying that you want to go and be a financier? Like, no, you want money. You want money, or you want to appease your parents, peers, anyone who wanted you to become a financier. You don't actually want to go into finance. Maybe you want to buy a boat, a house, a car, but I think there was something in life that you wanted to do. I think at some point maybe you wanted to be in the NFL, right? Or the NBA. You wanted to be famous. You wanted to be an actor. You wanted to be someone that mattered. And at some point you replaced purpose with the materials. What do those people have? What do I not have, right? And you forgot that life is about the purpose. You got to kind of realize that there's some people that have no handle on life at all. They're just flying through it. And I think that's the majority of people, okay? Like, when you were in middle school, you most likely, if you were like me anyway, you would come home, you'd play Fortnite, you'd watch TV, maybe Adult Swim, you'd take a nap, you'd eat some Doritos, you'd go eat dinner, and then you went to sleep. High school came around, and it was the new thing. You were hanging out with your friends. You were doing whatever. You're doing the same thing everybody else was doing, and you expected different results. You know when I said earlier that there's people that don't have a handle on life at all? I like to think of life like it's a pottery class. You walk into the pottery class, and let's say you want to learn how to make plates, bowls, whatever, and you want to sell them on Etsy. You want to make that like a little business. You start the pottery class off, and the instructor's giving advice. There's a guy sitting next to you. He's picking his nose. He's a real doorknob, okay? And pottery class starts, and this guy just kind of sits there and holds this clay spinning on this wheel. He's not really paying attention, and eventually he kind of slips, and it flies all over the place, and it just kind of lands on the floor. And you're looking at him, and you're like, wow. And the whole time you're steady, you're following the instructions, you're doing what's expected, and then you look over to the other direction, and there's this genius, right? There's this genius, and what she's doing is she's actually morphing the design that the instructor's talking about and adding all kinds of cool details. And you're like, wow, that's amazing. That's not what's expected either. And you realize that bumbling idiot's not doing what's expected. This genius isn't doing what's expected either. And you're sitting there, you're looking at your little clay pot, and you're looking around the classroom, and everybody else is doing the same thing you're doing. And at some point in your life, you were either the bumbling idiot or you were the genius. And you either conformed or you completely let go. You let go of those dreams that you once had, or you let go of trying and it splatted all over the floor. And if you conformed, you did what everyone else was doing. You became a dentist, a financier, something boring, something safe. Later in life, you realize that those bumbling idiots ended up living with their mom until they're 40, unemployed, homeless, working a dead-end job at McDonald's, or those people that were doing things that were unexpected started a business, did some media stuff. They followed their dreams. There's a lot of people who just move through life like a hive mind, like all the other people in the pottery class. They're a consumer, and they complain about a lot of things, politics, the environment, the economy, and they don't really take account for anything that they can control. They choose to do what's easy, what's comfortable, what's expected. And those people aren't going anywhere either. So I genuinely want you guys to look at your life and think, what do you have? What do you have going for you? Do you have a phone? I mean, there's tons of people that run Shopify businesses off their phone and make 10 grand a week. There's people that do the YouTube thing and buy a house in their 20s. There's people that make shitty influencer content on TikTok or AI slop, yet their pockets are more lined than yours are. Maybe the question isn't, what do you want to line your pockets with? Maybe the question is, who do you want to be? Everybody lost that drive of wanting to be somebody, do something, and they just decided they were going to settle for obtaining a material, a car, a house, even sometimes seeing the opposite gender as a material, an object that they can obtain. If you believe that consciousness exists after death, then the only thing that matters is the interactions you have with people and the mark you leave on their lives and your life. You can control what type of impact you leave on the world just by controlling your perception of how you see the world. Do you think everyone's a bumbling idiot all the time? Do you think everyone's better than you? Do you think you're average? How can you change your perception? Can you do things proactively to change your perception of yourself and to change your perception of other people, seeing people as not just this hive mind or these bumbling idiots, but someone with potential? When you become an old man, looking back at your life, you're not going to remember all the times that you hung out with the boys playing GTA. You're not going to remember all those Instagram reels you scrolled past. Maybe you'll remember how they made you feel. But what you're going to hate is the fact that you were an asshole, that you never tried, that you were mean, that you were rude. And you're going to wish that you changed those things. But right now, you don't have to regret that. You can change that actively. If you change your view of what can you obtain to who you can be, then you can change how you interact with other people and ultimately the impact you leave on your life and the world itself.